get your face ready.
How's it going, everybody? Lefty Leafy here. So, yeah, I'm talking about Shadow Raven Studios again. Trust me, don't worry, I have a video that's more of an update on a different drama that's gonna be coming out soon. I get it, talking about Shadow Raven Studios is very fucking exhausting, but hey, I actually genuinely, as per usual, actually have an excuse to talk about him because there's been some developments that happened, and of course we're gonna be getting into at least, well, as of recording this, his second most recent actual video that isn't like, you know, a podcast video of his, which apparently in his most recent podcast episode, he has decided to now go after Destructor for whatever reason, which I might take a look at some point in the near future. Just depends on whether or not if the archives just decide to go out of their way to re-upload it onto YouTube. I personally don't really care, but I feel like taking a look at it because it seems silly enough. In terms of some updates, I ended up announcing that I was releasing the last video on Shadow Raven Studios, obviously about like a couple hours before the video was actually planned to go out, and funnily enough, that ended up causing a certain individual that I talked about within said last video, Sneedclave Anonymous, to immediately hit me up and unblock me and start asking for yet another bargain, apparently. Which his main bargain was apparently like trying to, I guess, like, state that he apparently could get me into an interview with someone by the name of Chris Avalone, which, honestly, I have no idea who in the hell Chris Avalone is. I personally don't really care who the guy is, but apparently his only way of convincing me of this entire thing, which apparently, you know, the main thing was, you get an interview with Chris Avalone and you stop making videos, you know, updating people on just how scummy we are, which is, you know, kind of basically what it was. Obviously, I wasn't buying it because I didn't give a shit who Chris Avalone actually was, to which, of course, after realizing that that ultimately failed, he pretty much just tried to berate me a little bit more. I stopped taking him seriously again, and then he blocked me before I could give him my own ultimatum. So, of course, Sneedclave Anonymous, as well as anybody else that's still part of this confederation, I'm gonna give you my own ultimatum here, okay? You want me to stop making videos on you? Then stop being morons, okay? Stop publicly throwing fucking temper tantrums, alright? The main reason why I even started documenting your ass is because you genuinely had very stupid points against a fucking up-and-coming Fallout mod, all because apparently the developer was trans. And the only reason why this still keeps on going is because you and your goons keep on acting like morons. You apparently have an entire plan to supposedly strike down both myself and Xanderhall after you're done dealing with the archive channels, and apparently you think that, like, making these weak-ass deals will apparently make me stop. So if you want us to stop documenting you, stop being so stupid. Stop publicly being idiots. Literally, the main reason why some of the sagas on my channel end is because, well, the people that I talk about in said sagas know when to cut their losses and shut up. Like, all you have to do is just sit down, shut up, and move along your merry fucking way. I'm not telling you to, like, stop making content on whatever fucking platforms that you're on. I'm just saying to just leave me the fuck out of it. Stop fucking going after me, stop going after Ashfall Dude, stop going after any associates of mine, whether loosely or directly connected to me, and this can all just kind of fucking end. It's really that simple. But of course I know, since these guys honestly have less integrity in their pinky finger than they have collectively, I know that this won't actually get through to them because they genuinely prefer making themselves look like idiots. I guess they have like some sort of humiliation fetish at this point. I really have absolutely no idea. That's basically about it in terms of Sneedclave Anonymous. Now, of course, onto some updates about, well, wouldn't you believe it, the main titular, I guess you could call him antagonist of this entire story, which is, of course, Shadow Raven Studios himself. I ended up getting it, well, I would say I was the one that ended up getting into contact, but it was actually the guy himself who ended up getting into contact with me. And no, I'm not talking about Shadow Raven Studios, I'm talking about this guy that goes by the name of Lurks in Forums, who was brought up, I think, like, either in the second or third video in this entire saga, I can't exactly remember, but apparently he was the one who ended up infiltrating Shadow Raven's Discord server and ended up coming across, like, the weird, like, server section that had, like, Skyrim women's, like, close-up pictures of feet and armpits, which I actually managed to get first-hand pictures of that myself. I honestly don't know how to feel about the fact that those pictures actually do in fact exist. I'm not going to show them for obvious fucking reasons, but just know that, yes, they do in fact exist, or at least they did in fact exist, before Shadow Raven Studios decided to nuke his old Discord server. And the thing is that, once again, he did in fact confirm that these were in fact screenshots from his own Discord server, at least on his old account before he nuked it. I'm assuming that his Discord server ended up vanishing along the same time that his other socials ended up vanishing, so we'll just go along with that timeline. But there was a couple of other screenshots that, oddly enough, weren't actually shown off by Shadowraven Studios, and that was, of course, apparently a certain member within Shadowraven's Discord server apparently comparing their own partner to being a real-life lolly, and then Shadowraven coming in and apparently being very on board with that, and even going as far as to say, and I quote, "Shit, maybe I should have come to Ichiru when I was looking for a foreign bride." As if we needed more evidence that this dude was a fucking lolicon, but whatever. At least we now have evidence showing that there's no way he didn't know what lolicon actually was. Like, dude, it was on your fucking server before you nuked it. And of course, I might as well just use your own words against you here, Shadowraven, but
Screenshots don't lie, buddy.
So, yeah, and I can already see you on your way to try and, like, hand wave away a lot of this stuff, so there you go. Honestly, the longer and longer the story goes and the more vehement you get in terms of trying to hide all this shit, the more and more information ends up coming out, and I just find that to be genuinely fucking hilarious at this point. But anyways, that rounds off all the major updates in terms of what has been going on. Now we're going to be getting into what is supposedly Shadowraven's like most recent non-podcast video, which is of course a video titled "Why I Walked Away from the Gaming Scene Culture War." And of course within this video he, well, completely kind of backsteps on that entire thing, but, well, who cares at this point. Okay, I know this has absolutely nothing to do with, like, any points that are going to be brought up in this video, but I just feel like I should mention right now. But you can literally see the fucking watermarks of the background that he's using. Like, this is a level of laziness I didn't even think was possible. He couldn't even remove a watermark, which I guess is kind of par for the course because, well, neither could All Out Monty when it came to creating those weird AI hit pieces, so... yeah, why am I even surprised by this?
Hi there, I'm Mike, also known as Shadowraven. It's been a while since I made a video. The reason I'm releasing this is to let everyone know my future plans, how I've been doing, and the changes I made during my absence. As I mentioned in an earlier video, I decided to step down from the culture war in the gaming scene since there are enough channels who are covering these topics.
Well, I mean, maybe he stepped away from, like, the broader culture war, but of course, as we already know, he is still trying to get involved with this entire weird-ass, like, I guess, like, smaller war, if you will, that's currently going on. I wouldn't exactly call it much of a war, more or less just, like, I don't know, one group of gaggle fucks that apparently think that it's going to go well for them, and then... well, I assume that they're probably just going to be surprised when the primed explosives that they decide to open miraculously blows their fucking heads to Timbuktu, but I mean, like, I really have absolutely no idea what it is that they're even talking about anymore. Like, these people are just... they're just insane. There's really not much else to say. They're just fucking insane.
But I want to put more of my focus into helping the DLC Fund website to grow, and put all of my attention and focus into the modding scene since the woke mob is trying to corrupt and take over the different modding communities out there.
Okay, if I'm gonna give you some genuine advice here, Shadowraven, which I know you're not gonna listen to because you fucking hate me, but once again, I'm still just gonna give this to you. Please, for the love of God, learn what the fuck audio balancing is. Like, this is all-out Monty levels of fucking audio balancing. Like, the music is overpowering your shitty-ass voice. Like, this is fucking annoying as hell.
There are different creator groups out there who are doing good enough of alerting everyone that the game's being tainted by these different woke DEI companies and individuals responsible for attempting to corrupt and destroy the gaming scene. And I just want to say my thanks to all of you who are doing an excellent job.
By the way, just for reference, pretty much everyone except for maybe the SBI Detected, like, group are pretty much all a bunch of weird gaggle fucks that hate the existence of, like, gay people or just, like, women existing in video games at all. Especially with that tweet. Like, there's, like, games in there that are apparently being considered as woke that honestly shouldn't even be considered woke in the first place. Like, what the fuck? Like, one of them is a fucking gator game. What's woke about a fucking alligator game? What's wrong with people?
But there is one man I want to give a shout out to, and that is Woke and Anti-Woke Detected.
For those of you who don't remember who this guy was, it is this greasy man from, well, what was originally the last video about this entire situation before Shadowraven decided to rear his ugly fucking head again. Nah, I didn't make a mistake actually somewhat shouting this guy out to him. At least he'll have a friend for once.
I took notice of his channel on YouTube along with his hard work and dedication to watching my back when I used to be on YouTube. If it's possible, I would love to have a chat with him in a one-on-one podcast interview on Discord. Also, since he is supporting the DLC Fund website.
Also, I just feel like pointing this out right now, and this is something that my friend Game Penguin pointed out in the live stream where we also covered this video, but honestly, this fucking, like, logo that is shown off right here in this thumbnail is infinitely better than the actual DLC Fun logo. How does that even happen, Raven? You're getting your fucking logo is getting mogged by some rando.
The reason I stopped arguing and fighting with these SJWs is because I'm tired of these tourists who are trying to take over the gaming scene. I could even say the same thing regarding the Nexus Mods fanboy tourists who are trying to take over the different modding groups and the modding scene.
Once again, I just have to bring this up, but he is just straight up lying about no longer fighting against people because, once again, refer to all the videos that I've already made beforehand and the fact that he is still having fucking, like, cope sessions on his fucking Rumble account talking about Destructor for whatever reason.
Regardless, I'm still going to speak out against what they are trying to do in the modding scene. Regardless of how tiresome this battle is becoming, I will never bend the knee to these infiltrators who are trying to take over everything.
Listen, I just feel like I might as well mention this right now. The simple fact that you decided to nuke not just your YouTube, but also your fucking Twitter account, also decided to block me on said Twitter account before you nuked it, and are currently mainly hiding away with all of your opinions on fucking Rumble, that completely disproves this entire point of you supposedly not wanting to bend the knee. That is quite literally, I believe by definition, you bending the knee to, you know, as like a concession to everybody. You fucked off and left, at least for a short amount of time before you decided to come back and threaten to strike us. Like, well, what else do I have to say?
The gaming scene aspect of things hasn't been doing very well ever since the woke mob corrupted it. There are many different DEI games that have released by these DEI companies and developers, but these games are flopping left and right.
Do I even have to bring up the multitude of reasons as to why bringing up Concord as like an example of a quote woke game that you know failed really is? Again, Actman made an entire really good video about Concord, to be completely honest, and even to an extent I made my own video talking about like why Concord ultimately failed, and I may have missed like a couple of things, like for example the fact that Sony barely even marketed this game to begin with, which obviously didn't exactly help its case at all, but like, again, Concord isn't a game that failed because it went woke. It was a game that failed because it tried way too hard to be like Overwatch and Destiny 2 combined, and it fucking failed in both regards.
This is the idea and vision we want to bring into DLC Fun.
I feel like I might as well just kind of bring up something. This has absolutely nothing to do with, like, most of the video here, but, like, if you pay attention to, like, the enemy health bars and whatnot, you'll see, like, shit like Antifa Soldier or Antifa Soy Boy or something like that. He quite literally added a goddamn mod that changed the name of the raiders to, like, Antifa members. Do I even have to point out how fucking psychotic that is?
We give mod authors and users total freedom away from politics, and we don't force anything onto the members and users of the DLC Fun website. You don't have to worry about getting into petty little drama fights, unlike Nexus mods, which they are most famous for starting petty little drama wars over the littlest things.
You know, I feel like, once again, I feel like I don't even have to say anything here. Just him saying this is just unbelievably bitterly fucking ironic. Because once you believe it, this entire fucking situation is nothing more than a petty little drama fight that you started.
That is the most important thing we do not do on here on the DLC Fun website. We are here simply for the thrills of the DEI free games and the fun of using the mods on here. There is no reason for any mod hosting website to start petty little drama fights over nothing.
Yeah, and there's no reason why idiots like you should start petty little drama fights like this over just minor critique of shitty evidence within a video. I'm pretty sure the only reason why I'm living in your head rent-free is because I fucking trolled you with a bait account that one time, and that was literally about it. Once again, just watch this video at this particular timestamp if you want to know more information on that.
I do have a major update I need to announce to my audience. I am no longer on YouTube and the X social platforms, and I have no intentions of coming back to either social platforms.
Well, that's a fucking lie, considering that once again you created a brand new channel on YouTube, you're still going insane on that new YouTube channel, and once again, Operation Dark Vengeance exists. Do I even have to explain why you're making this shit up? But of course, all of this is on Rumble, and the people on Rumble all collectively have, like, one brain cell that's already decaying to begin with, so I mean, like, they're obviously just gonna believe this anyways.
As for the story on what happened with the stalker, YouTube is one of the platforms this incident took place. At first, I only received a community warning regarding the community post I made against the stalker. But later on, I also received a community guideline strike.
I feel like I should just bring this up right now with him bringing up the community guideline strikes. With both of these screenshots right here, he is showing off only the first of the community guideline strikes that he apparently received, and not the second one that caused him to nuke everything. I wonder why!
Due to an unlisted video response I made against the stalker. As a result of this, I decided to close my video channel on YouTube, and to also delete my Google AdSense account.
You know, this is something that completely fucks me up even to this day, but, like, you quite literally decided to throw away a 1,000, like, an over 1,000 subscriber YouTube channel that had full monetization on it, also that way you could run away to a website where there's significantly less people that are not only just there, but also significantly less people even following you on said website. You threw away 1,000 fans for 70 fucking morons.
I know some of you are concerned with the new direction I'm going, and I'm here to tell everyone you have nothing to worry about.
Man, I just absolutely love it that he's only showing off, like, 2 comments from the same person. God, this is just so sad. It's so fucking sad.
However, I'm not going back to what I used to do in my video work. I also noticed since my disappearance on YouTube, there are creators who are spreading misinformation regarding the website I represent and also about me.
Oh hey, look, it's my video about DLC Fun. Now, if you don't feel like watching through an entire 12-minute long deep dive into the DLC Fun website, let me just give you kind of like the somewhat cliff notes of this. I basically went through about like maybe 10 to 12 mods within that video, but in total, in like the actual recording, I went through about like maybe 20 to 30 different mods across like 5 different games on the DLC Fun website, and cross-referenced a lot of them, any existence of those same exact mods on Nexus mods. And, well, wouldn't you believe it, but I ended up finding out that DLC Fun is basically just a group of 50 individuals, because there's only like 50 registered, quote, mod authors on DLC Fun, despite there being over, like, hundreds of thousands of mods on the website, which should already just be fishy enough. But, like, you'll notice if you look onto the website, it's one person mass uploading several different mods, with no credit being given to the original creators, mind you. And, of course, you can pretty much find damn near almost every single mod on Nexus mods created by the original authors posted there. But what makes it even scummier is that you can actually make money on that website for every 1,000 or so downloads, which is why you'll see one person upload, like, you know, up to like maybe 3,000 mods for like one game, just so that way they can make a quick buck. So, yeah, I just felt like giving you the somewhat cliff notes. Again, you can watch the video for yourself if you want the more deep dive into everything and the better explanations, but that's the long and short of what's going on DLC Fun.
The creators making such videos spreading misinformation are most likely Nexus Mods fanboys. For now, I'm going to say don't pay any mind to their misinformation.
Guys, don't pay any mind to my video that could quite literally expose this guy as literally shilling for a website that's profiting from thievery. Guys, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Jesus Christ, this is like... dude, you cannot make this level of desperation up.
The things they are saying about me and the DLC Fun website are not true. Well, later on down the road, I will be responding to these creators accordingly.
And I will be awaiting for that response with bated breath because, let's be honest here, I can only imagine just how fucking terrible it's going to be. But I think we're just going to end the video off right there. There's only like another minute, but it's mainly just him jerking himself off, so we're just going to end the video off right here. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed today's video, please consider leaving a like. That's very well appreciated. Leave a comment down below what you thought about the video, what you want me to talk about next, and also subscribe to the channel if you're new and you want to see more content such as this. Also, go ahead and follow me on Twitter and join the Discord server, and I also have channel memberships now if you feel like throwing me like a $5 or something. And yeah, anyways guys, this has been Sandy, and have yourselves a nice day.